my experience around this thing called healing is, I guess I'd like to say, it has been my experience that I have been exposed to 3 different sort of distinct sort of healers. When I first, let's pretend that that these 3 people, I'll talk about one person, and I meet them 15 years ago, and then I meet them 5 years ago, and then I meet them yesterday. But those 3 people are, that one person passing through those 3 ages is representative of a group of people and concepts. So I'm sort of lumping it all together and talking about one person. Let's say I meet this person 15 years ago and they announce, I am a healer. And I say, oh, well, tell me about this. Are there other people that you have treated that would testify to this? Oh, yes, I've done healing. So-and-so had an elbow that I healed their elbow, and so-and-so is bleeding, and I was able to heal it. And I said, well, tell me a little bit about what you do. And they say, well, I use energy. I rub my hands together, and when I feel my hands getting hot, I know the energy is strong, and I'm able to put my hands on these people and heal them. And I say, well, tell me how is it that works? And she says, well, I have this energy that's a healing energy, and I just put my hands on them and I allow them to, heal that energy. I say in my mind, heal, heal, and something takes place. Not always, but sometimes it takes place. And I said, well, how's that been going for you? And they said, well, I've been doing this about 3 years now. But lately I'm getting like really tired. Used to be I could work on people all the time, but now I'm just really tired. I'm drained. They are using up my energy, and I'm just getting awfully tired of this. And I said, oh, well, gee, it was so nice to meet you and learn about this healing. Maybe you can come back to a program sometime and we'll see you again. So 10 years pass and they show up again. And they say, don't I know you? And she said, yeah, my name's Mary Lou. And I said, Mary Lou, yes. Didn't you do some healing? Yes, I was a healer. And I said, well, tell me how that's worked out for you. And she says, well, I've changed a little bit. And I said, well, tell me what the situation is now. She says, well, there's a couple of things. I found out that I don't have to touch the person or put my hands around their head, that I can actually talk to them over the phone, or they can send me a picture, and I'm able to do this distantly with them, and I don't have to be connected with them anymore. And I said, oh, well, that is interesting. And you're getting similar results? She says, yes, some of the people that I help aren't affected, but then there are those others that keep me in doing this, that I know that it's supposed to happen. I said, what do you mean supposed to happen? She said, well, I used to get really tired, but then I realized that, you see, the energy doesn't come from me, that the energy, it comes from a divine source. And I am just the conduit through which this energy flows. And the people come to me because they know they can connect with this energy that flows through me. And so I always ask permission. And I ask, is it all right for this healing energy to flow to you? And I say, well, before you told me that you would hold in your mind, you'd see the wound, or you'd have an image of the tumor, and you would say in your mind, heal, heal. And then she says to me, well, no, you see, it seems to me that not only does this energy not come through me, but, sometimes healing isn't fixing the physical thing wrong. Sometimes there are things that caused this to manifest within this person's body, and it might be a psychological or spiritual healing that's needed, and what is perceived in the physical body is only a reflection or a manifestation of that which needed to be healed. And I said, my goodness, this sounds so much different. How do you feel about your work now? And they say, oh, I feel a whole lot better about this. And I feel like it's so much not me doing this. And when people come to me, I work with them, but I realize now it's really not me doing this. I said, this is really wonderful. Have you thought about writing a book about that? And well, I've talked to people about it, and sometimes I have, you know, a nighttime class that somebody will invite me to, and I'll talk to a group of people about this. I said, oh my goodness, do you get more clients? And they said, well, yeah, that more people seem to know about me now, and so forth. Okay, well, good. That's really great. That's really wonderful to hear that you change and you understand this a little bit better. So 5 years go by, and they come back, and I said, Mary Lou, is that you? Uh-huh, that's me. And I said, God, Mary Lou, I remember when you were here, you had this wonderful story you told me about your healing. Are you still doing that? And she'll say, well, no, not really. I'll say, well, but Mary Lou, you were so excited about the work you were doing and how this and that and the other thing. And I said, don't you do that anymore? And she said, well, no, it's not the same. Well, tell me more about what you do. And she said, well, you know, I don't do that anymore. Well, but Mary Lou, I actually got a call from somebody a couple months ago that said that they had visited you and they were just astounded at what happened when they were with you. And she, you know, was this the wrong person? She said, well, who is it? And I said, well, it was Bill Johnson. She said, oh, I remember Bill, yeah. Well, what did you do? And said, well, you know, I didn't do anything. I said, Mary Lou, I met you a long time ago, and you told me about this, and you told me about that, and now I have other people that have told me that they've met you. What's going on with you? And she said, well, it's all different. And I said, well, what do you mean? Aren't you doing this healing work? And she said, no. And I said, well, why would Bill tell me this? And she said, well, Bill came to see me, and I sat down with him, and I looked at Bill, and I saw him perfect. And when Bill saw himself perfect, he was healed. And I said, well, what did you do? He said, I saw him in God's image. Well, what did you do? I saw him whole. And once Bill saw, he was healed. So, when people talk to me about healing, you know, I try to say, well, are you this one? Are you this one? Are you this one? And there's a lot of people in that first category, and there's fewer people in the second category. And I think I know 3 people in that last category. I think I know 3 people in that other category.